Okay then. Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to Masks, School of Hard Knocks, a game of Masks, the next generation, as set on the Gauntlet. Most of these fine people are from the Gauntlet, except our wonderful guest, Jay. I am Ferret, also known as Sawyer. I use any pronouns as I'm a void of gender. You literally cannot misgender me unless you're being an ass, so don't be an ass. I will be the facilitator for this game. I will be throwing the hard moves and wicked punches at our drama goblins. And speaking of drama goblins in this realm of the villain, let's start introducing ourselves in character keeper order. So let's go with our bull.
Hi, yeah, my name's David. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing this evening Danny Mac the Bull. Danny is a young Cantonese guy. I think he's probably like about 16. He maybe looks a bit older because he's big. He's sort of six two maybe, and built with it, as one might expect from the bull if you are at all familiar with masks. Um, he is currently going by the villain moniker of Atlas, though that's more a that was the name of the he was sort of assigned as a test subject, which we'll learn more about in a moment, rather than an active choice on his part. And both the character and the player are still not entirely satisfied with that name, so maybe looking for alternatives. The so yeah, as a young kid, Danny was affected by some form of strange genetic condition that caused abnormal cell growth. He was picked up by Optimax Corporation, who made an offer to his parents to give him the very best of care. Cut to sort of a decade or so later, where he has spent most of his life in an experimental super soldier program, because that's how these things tend to go. Um, um, Danny has developed his main thing is kind of a bit of a riff on the whole on the Wolverine style thing. He has very fast cell recovery. Um, he recovers from wounds very fast. His bones are a lot denser than they otherwise would be. His muscles are a lot denser as well. He's very solid, very strong, very fast, and yeah. Sometime like in the last few months or so, um, Danny was, as I say, was being experimented on by Optimax Corporation, under the care of I've forgotten what I called the doctor. Did we note
Dr.
that down?
Hastings.
Dr. Hastings. That's it. Um, in the facility. There was another group of superheroes broke into the facility, knocked out key pieces of the security infrastructure, which gave Danny the chance to escape into the night. Um, he has been kind of largely bumming around the city since, making a bit of cash here and there through working as as I said last time, working as hired muscle, because he has a lot of it, and he has fallen into the ambit of the School of Hard Knocks, where he has met the rest of our team.
Speaking of the rest of our team, let's start with our Janice.
Yes, hi, hello. I'm Jay, he, him pronouns, and today I will be playing Cody Jameson, also known as Arachnophobe. Arachnophobe he didn't have it easy as a kid, not really. Um, he got shifted aside by his parents and wound up in the clutches of a supervillain who ended up experimenting on him, mostly around the focus of fear, venoms, and serums, and things like that. It certainly changed him and amplified his fear for spiders, so much so to the point that he and got traits of a spider, should we say, the wall crawling, the organic webbing, and the arachnid alarm, as he calls it. Um, but yeah, he just didn't really recover all that much. He went back home. Eventually, he had to look after his little brother, and the only way that he could really vent was by graffitiing, being a delinquent, and trying to find his place in the world. But he would always do it masked up because, despite all of his wrongdoings, he doesn't want any of this to come back on top of his family, essentially, uh, over his way of venting. And sure enough, the School of Hard Knocks brought something of interest to his life, and he's sticking around, seeing what's happening.
And next, our musical legacy.
Yeah, hi, my name's Leandro, use he and pronouns, and for this series, I'm playing the aforementioned legacy character. Her code name, I guess, is Fermata. She is of the legacy playbook, which means she comes from a line of, well, usually it's heroes, but this time it's quite different because the legacy that she's part of is this musically themed cult known as the Twilight Orchestra, who have been around for quite some time. They really like their musical stuff. Don't know why. But basically, she was taken on when she was 5 after running away from home after she started developing telepathic abilities, and they've raised her and nurtured her until she has become someone who's very much willing to fight for this group, whose main goal is to bring about the endless sleep of the earth through a prophecy. It involves a dark idol of some sort who has to sing at some point, apparently. And Fermata is one who's devoted to that. She's only just starting out, doing actual like on the field work for the orchestra. Probably like a year and a bit. So as you know, that's because the orchestra works with a bunch of other groups. She was sent to the School of Hard Knocks to make sure she knows how to she knows what the rest of the the rest of have New Gauntlet City. I nearly called it Halcyon City. We're in a different city. Of New Gauntlet City, underworld is like, and well, she's not sure what to expect. Her teammates seem keen, I guess, or cool.
Nice. And finally, but not least, definitely not least with that size, our transformed.
Hi, folks. I'm Dave. I'm a he, him, and I'm playing Thunderchild, who's also a he, him. Thunderchild is an 8 foot tall, super cool battle robo with a sweet jacket. Before he was a cool battle robo that he can barely control, he was Jacob Mordecai, who was a 13-year-old boy, the son of Adam Mordecai, the head evil scientist of sin. Um, uh, but there was an accident. Jacob Mordecai is no more, but the consciousness sits inside this battle robot, which is designed to take down superheroes. And I say sometimes Thunderchild can control it. More often than not, they can't. I think he's the youngest member of the group, but he towers over all of them with their super size. I'm looking for teenage heel feels. Hulk moments of why can I never kiss a girl, and covering evil and beating down superheroes.
That sounds amazing, and I think this issue one has to be one of those old '90s alt covers that like it's one of the modern day movie posters that doesn't tell you really anything about the people inside. It's just School of Hard Knocks. Then the like I think like 4 color paint splatters just all over the background as this just looks really cool and just the right amount of edge. And the page opens, we see this one panel, and then the next thing, the same panel, but a foot coming down into view. Uh, and the final bit of the page is just, I think, like a shot looking up at Domina Carnifex as she walks into this like slightly kind of like a classroom, slightly kind of like an interrogation room, and I think inside is a single rectangular table. And I'm going to ask, going around. I think I'll do it in reverse order this time. Thunderchild, how does how are you positioned in this panel when we first see you?
So Thunderchild is, uh, I suppose, lurking over the desk, sat down, huge form, with their little backpack on the table and a pencil case. Right, so they're ready for school and action.
And Fermata, how are you set up in this room?
Um, Sat down in the middle of the desk, arms forward, properly folded, back straight, like a proper student, like like a proper model student, just like face carefully placid, just ready and able.
Same question to you, Arachnophobe, because I assume you are masked.
Forgot to mute myself. Yes, I am entirely masked. Rather, mask is more like a bandana that just covers over the nose, so you can just see the eyes and the drop of blonde hair, all nice and straightened out. Um, he's actually not sat at the desk per se. He's on the wall just behind the desk, kind of like stuck to it with both feet like behind him as if he's crouching on it, and forearms are like propped against the elbows, and he's kind of looking kind of bored, but kind of now attentive that Dominus walked in.
And Danny, how do you seem?
Yeah, Danny is like sat back in his chair, feet up on the desk. He's clearly still got like one earphone in, and but he does have like his notebook out on his knee, and a pencil in hand.
Domina Carnifex raises this wicked-looking Kirby-esque mace, like a long tube with flanges on it, and just slams it down onto her teacher's desk. Not enough to break it, but enough to signify that she's emotional. And then behind her projects the medical reports of Anesthesia, the hero you fought. How she's still on prolonged bed rest. How I think there are a few pictures of just like fractures and some medical mumbo jumbo that if like people actually got close to is just like saying like those newspapers that have Latin in them. You all destroyed one of the most vicious heroes in this city. Congratulations. You're on the fast track, and I couldn't be happier of my best graduates. She clasps her hands behind her back. I think another test of your prowess is in order. But because you did so well on the focused quiz, this will test your teamwork as much as it does your talents. And the faces her hand, the pictures of Anesthesia's medical records disappear. And I think what comes next is there are three different sections of New Gauntlet City. One is showing, I think, a small Optimax facility, not like the main Optimax agencies, but an off the grid style black site. The other is, oh, who is that XP we have of yeah, I think the other is the Iron Fist paper from Sherwood itself. And oh, I think she's smarmy enough to have a mystery box. And there is a mystery box, like just a photo with a question mark on it. And Sheila, does anyone's face change when they see either of these? Like, look like they are more interested in one. Does anyone dare have a question for Miss Domina Carnifex?
If I
I
paint the
think
scene though, Thunderchild is sort of looking with all his form like the kid who isn't sure he's going to get picked for the sports team. So he's sort of sitting in the back, looking at the other three back and forth, waiting to see if he's still on the team.
I think Cody's just going to be like, "What's in the box? What's the mystery?" I need to know.
Danny is trying to play things cool still, but I think we saw. I think the first thing that we noticed probably was that when he kind of got the praise from Dominic Carnifex, you could see that moment of like his eyes kind of lighting up a bit, but then automatically reverting to sullen teen again. But when he sees the Optimax facility, his eyes narrow. And I think the pencil he's got in his hand splinters into like fragments.
Fermata's just really still quite still. She's not the leader here, so, or at least she doesn't think so. So she's like, all right, everyone's gonna pick. It's fine. We can take on anything, but she's not gonna say that out loud. She's just still hands folded. Just she might have nodded when Miss Carfax like gave us the praise, but that's it.
Cody might have been a bit smug at the praise, but most you'd see is like a crease in the bandana. Like, yeah.
So I think Thunderchild is attentive enough to spot Danny's snapping of the pencil and looks over to them and sort of leans in and conspiratorially whispers, "You okay, man?"
I'm fine, don't worry about it. I'm just I'd like to give I certainly wouldn't mind giving up to Max a piece of my mind.
Hey, if it means, we can give someone a good kicking and they pissed you off, let's do that one. Hey, let's do up to Max.
And she looks at Arachnophobe after he said, like, what's in the box, and hey, let's do Optimax. And I think again, like that Bond villain just single side smirk comes to her face. The fractures begin. If you select what is unknown, you must deal with it. But I can tell you about the Optimax issue right away.
Seeing as he heard Thunderchild quite ecstatically pipe up to do Optimax, and he didn't quite catch the tension, like the air of tension to Danny's tone. So he's just going to be like, yeah, no, you know what? I'm good with
Oh, shoot. But then there's like surprises. I love surprises.
True, but at least knowing about it means we can plan ahead, get it done real quick, and then we can go and deal with the surprise, right?
Look, if you all want to do the mystery box, we can do the mystery box. But Miss Carnifex, I'm happy to do the Optimax facility as a freebie if you want it.
Ah, now that's what I like to hear. Let's do a small debrief first, just as a show for a sign of gratefulness of your eagerness. She'll, hand opens up on the Optimax thing. It goes bigger, and I think four smaller boxes appear under it. Each one with like a face of some kind of meta or super that you've never seen, except for one. Danny, you know Apollo. And do you break another pencil? Do you break your desk?
No, I think there's just going to be kind of a muffled fuck.
Optimax has some kind of serum that's supposed to enhance the yes, that's supposed to enhance your genetic predisposition to powers. They're testing it out on a. Do you call them guinea pigs when they're not volunteers?
I mean, I'm pretty sure guinea pigs don't exactly sign up to be tested on either, so.
Yes, but I mean, I'm not sure what you would call them. They're not, as I said, they didn't sign up for this. They were
Kidnapped.
kidnapped, taken, donated. Either way, they ended up here. And she points to under the four of them. Sadly, they seem to be either Stockholm Syndrome loyal or just brainwashed, and they're guarding Optimax. You'll have to go through these four at the very least to get what we need. If you can make it, of course.
The key word was donated for arachnophobe, and he just kind of unsticks from the wall and actually walks towards his desk, and he's like, "All right, I'm listening." More so, but he is going to sit next to Fermata, just kind of nudge her, like, "You're quiet. What's your take?"
I believe in the capabilities of everyone in this room to do their job well. I believe we can take on any task, whether mysterious or not.
I think that Thunderchild looks at Domina Carnifax and attempts to pierce her mask.
Oh, this can't go badly. Please roll.
Dave, we're not going to bring our good luck from Wednesday to here. That can't happen.
You had all the good luck. I had no good luck. I couldn't make a hard move all evening. It's like I'm going to be a better player and screw up my roll for Sawyer. So look, pierce the mask is with mundane. I've got that as a 0, so it's a flat roll. Ooh, that's a 7.
Go ahead and ask your one question.
What do you really want us to do?
She wants you to succeed, but I think like you're scanning her with your new robotic senses. They pick up this reading around her, it's I think slightly almost like a Carolean photography thing, almost like her aura.
42% smug.
Yeah, and you can tell she's put you guys are all of her eggs in one basket. You are the class that she is betting on to make herself look good.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm still down for this.
Hey,
Yeah.
I reckon whatever's in that box we can do next. what's most important is we look out for each other first, because we damn well know no one else is gonna.
You raise a good point.
She'll,
Punch those goons and tear that building down.
Hmm.
if you insist on collateral damage, it may affect your final grade.
What? So unfair.
So wait, hold up. The job here exactly is to get in there, beat the snot out of those four, and then that's it.
You don't need to beat them. Recruitment is also an option if you can find out why they're serving Optimax. If this medication is not brainwashing them, it may have ended up becoming habit forming or worse.
What are we meant
Okay.
to acquire there?
See, how do you acquire them?
No, what are we meant to acquire?
And she'll like pull out the, again, move the thing, the data comes up, and there's like this ampule of purplish red liquid that looks almost like my I can't remember the name, but the mojo that character had in the Austin Powers movie, and just like it looks like that weird gel, and it's just and underneath it's like the name that all the fans will realize. I think like there is some kind of like nod to Danny's past. This is augmented whatever from issue number. See here. But,
Okay. Cody's just gonna reach up and Arachnophobe's just gonna reach up and pat Thunderchild on the shoulder. It's alright, man. Don't worry about it. But yeah, no. I'm good for this. We can plan on the way there, I guess. Or do we have like a much bigger planning room with like
yeah, I mean, this is, if you'd like we can have like turn the next page and see some of the members of the School of Hard Knocks like around like this tactical room that you all share. And I think as you all are like walking down the hall like or into this room, I think there is like this like there are people talking, and but Danny recognizes this complete lack of this absence of sound from one section of the room, and he looks over and he sees Whisper and like two of her classmates chatting, but she has her sound dampening up so no one can hear what they're gossiping about. And I think let's see these other NPCs in here because I want to start I think Pyre is here teaching people how to work through the like the new upgrades they've done to the tactical, like I imagine Pyre's a lot like Beast now. I cannot exude lava upon my foes. I shall build things for the next generation to exude lava on my foes. And he's and today, just to throw some fun into it, I think Pyre is showing off his new mechanical upgrade to the person who made it possible, Adam Mordecai, who's come to check on his investment in the School of Hard Knocks. I imagine this is a single panel spread. There's this large rectangular style table with like holographs, Avatar movie level planning, very sci-fi, again hyper tech. Just you can go in there, 3D models, move stuff around, best D&D board ever, chairs around. I think there's even vending machines, and of course the companies that were desperate enough to allow us to brand them in a villain's comic, like RC Cola, Fago. We don't even get like Coke, and the snack machine's even offering Mr. OK Bar, Lady 100 Grand. But you are now in the hub of scum and villainy. What do you do?
I'm gonna go to a vending machine and get me all of the beef jerky they have before getting into planning. Kind of peckish. But then I will join my villainous comrades there, and I'm gonna let someone else handle the technology stuff because I'm an artist, not a techie, and I just kind of like putting my hands to the holographs now and then. But I'm paying attention, being attentive. We're going to be infiltrating a whole building, so are we going to get those schematics up?
We certainly could, but it sounds like someone needs to assess the situation.
Oh.
Does someone need to assess the situation to about the tactical room itself, or just to see about the building? You think? Yeah, let's. I think if
Floor
someone
plan.
brings up like the floor plan, like stats in we're going to these coordinates. What is there? Thank you, evil Google Earth. Can we see the schematics to this building?
I think you can just drop evil, just Google.
Yeah.
Fair.
Google.
I was going to argue, but fair.
So, oops, there goes the live stream.
You have been banned from YouTube. This is your first strike.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if someone gets the holograph up, we can have someone assess situation for this, see what is available info on this Optimax facility.
I'll do it. But I know, like, mechanically, we should get Atlas to do it because he's the only one who's superior. But I think,
And I mean, Atlas does know Optimax level of
yeah. I just wondering, yeah.
of like what they do and everything. So,
Yeah, that is true, and I had also forgotten that I actually had superior. So, yeah, I think yeah, Danny will like punch up the the satellite images. So, well, I've not been to this facility before. I was in the city, but what I know is security is going to be tight. They are, well, I guess seeing as they get knocked over by supervillains and or superheroes every other week, give or take, it's probably not fair to call it paranoia, but they're yeah, they keep things locked down. And yeah, I'll make my roll. That's a 9.
What's the team currently?
the team is at 1 because we started with 1.
So I think in that case that what I'm going to do is Thunderchild puts his arm around and taps or pats Danny on the back and says, "Whoa, you're so good at this!" Giving him a pep talk. I'm terrible with computers.
And that's like when your dad is like putting in like some kind of like easy mode chip into what Bayer's working on.
Yeah, I think it's because it's Mordecai tech, right? So I think it's just sort of I open up a pass code just a little bit to help Danny take that up to a 10.
Password unlock hamster extreme.
Cool. So yeah, I think. Oh no, so it's 2, not 3. I always confuse this and pierce the mask. So yeah, I think. How could we best end this quickly?
Just grabbing the medication, or like grabbing just the core goal, or what?
Yeah, that's probably it. I think Danny's inclination is to get the job done as quick as possible in general. So yeah, I think that will probably be more at getting the doing what we're there to do, doing our primary objective essentially for that.
I think the quickest way to do it would, I think you're bringing up the schematics and like this like you are here virtual person shape comes up, and it starts going through like this is good tech. It goes through like the elevator, then down, then to the entrance the elevator shouldn't open, and it shows you a secret path like that is basically like the behind the mall entrance to all the shops. So the best way to do this quickly would be to utilize their own security against them.
Cool. And the other one is tricky. I think. Now, I think that's probably a question for later. What here is the biggest threat?
The biggest threat is the unknown variable of the 4 people you saw.
Sure thing. Yeah, so I think Danny's gonna punch up and say, so we want to get in and hopefully out as quick as possible. They're under with their cover. Do it going in direct is probably our best bet. They won't be, well, they'll be prepared, but we'll just have to overwhelm them and get in that way. I reckon we'll probably be able to get in there. If we go in civvies, we can probably get close to the entrance without drawing suspicion. And he's going to make a gesture at the screen and flick over to the images again of the sort of the heroes, we'll say for the time being. And he'll point at Apollo and says, he's fast, he can fire lasers, fly. The other 3, no idea, could be anything. So we need to keep an eye out for them. We can't expect them to take this quietly. Obviously, as Dominican Effect says, if we can get them on side or at least get them away from Optimax, it's all to the good. But we can't count on them making it easy for us.
Would you be able to do that? Bring them over?
I don't know, possibly.
If not, are they like you? Powerful, I mean.
As I say, the other 3 I don't know, but if they've been on the same stuff, then yeah, it shouldn't expect them to be pushovers. Optimax are trying to build weapons, so we should assume that that's what these folk are.
You have shared experience. You should be able to reach them.
I hope so. But
I just realized I might have been shifting your labels.
Yeah, that is fair.
If that's okay.
That is perfectly okay with me.
Yeah. Kind of telling you your place in the world. I have influence. I can do this. Um, I'm shifting your superior up and your mundane down. Basically telling you you're part and parcel of these people. You can reach out to them. That you can do that, right, Atlas?
Yeah, and I don't think I'm going to try and resist that because I think that um, I think that's kind of taken Danny by surprise.
Hey, do you think Carnifax was like being serious when she said we couldn't cause any collateral damage?
I'd say go all out if it's going to be part of the escape route. But from what I'm understanding, we're going to need to be in our civvies to get as close as possible.
What do you think I can do? Put on a moustache?
Well, got me there.
I might have something that can.
I'll put on a mask and take it off and just pretend to be normal at the end of it all.
Normal's boring anyway. You're not missing much. But I mean, I could go like get a bit closer, maybe. I mean, it's a bit of a hazard going in, not knowing who our enemy is. Really, it's good that you know, like at least one of them flies and shoots lasers. But what if like we manage to get someone close enough so that we can provide a quiet way in? Then once all of us are in, at least through the front gates, we can cause the ruckus inside, get what we need, and then destroy a wall or something on the way out. Easy stuff. Almost like, the bank.
Yeah,
Except on a tighter scale.
that works for me.
Super high five.
Does this count as a celebratory moment because we came up with a good plan?
Maybe not
That's-
yet.
I don't think. I think you need to like succeed on the plan for it to be a celebratory moment. The plan is the first part.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, I'm set whenever you guys are.
Let's do crime.
I would say, like, I am curious about how we are going to get Thunderchild in position.
I was going to suggest, because I have extensive, exemplary occult knowledge, I might have something that could, like, at least draw eyes away, unless Thunderchild has something for this occasion.
Thunderchild points about a quarter of a mile away on the map and points to the storm drain. I'll go in the storm drain, go through the sewers again. If you need me, shout loudly.
Well, you shouldn't be alone then.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely
always alone for Marta.
Not for this. We can't afford to be alone. We have a job to do.
So,
Do you want
maybe-
to? Do you want to go with? Do you want to go with Thunderchild then for Marta? And I'll head into the mall with Arachnophobe. That way, we've got one heavy hitter and one more subtle type in each team.
that works out.
That sounds reasonable.
We'll all recon once we find a way in for you guys. We should probably work out how long all of this should take. But if we're quick enough, won't be long. You guys don't have to be in the sewers long.
This is interesting. I want to posit something to Fermata first, though. Do you think with your exemplary occult knowledge you may be able to harmonize thoughts to allow like a walkie-talkie telepathy between your teammates?
Yeah, because her cult's all about audio. this shouldn't be hard. It's probably like I think um it'll come in the form of a temporary tattoo, or like a kind of like a just a marking on the back of your ears. Um, and you can wash it away. So so you
Yeah,
can't.
so roll me a freak, I think, to unleash your powers to see how this goes.
Ooh, that's another 7 on the cusp.
Do you want this to be temporary or unstable, or do you want to take a condition?
I think I'm gonna take a condition because Fermata wants this mission to go well. Um, no, this card effect is counting on us. So I think I'm gonna mark insecure.
Good. So now we are all connected telepathically. So this is even better than the modern day text services. Great.
Oh, wow.
And so I think that I'm not going to put like anything like a Killer Croc and Baby Doll in the sewers on your way there. So we're not going to. This is not D&D. There's not an encounter of stuff before we get to the like nearby Optimax industries. And I'm curious, is Arachnophobe going to be Cody in front of Danny?
I believe so. It's going to have to be for the greater good or greater evil, should I say.
I want to see the scene where Arachnophobe demasks in front of his teammate.
Well, when they've all headed down into the sewers, uh, Danny and Cody, well, Arachnophobe will probably be walking, and Cody's going to dip without another word. He isn't going to say, hey, hold up, like say, hey, wait a minute. He's just going to disappear. You hear the whip of him like pulling himself off somewhere, and all he's done is get changed out of his hoodie, that's like a one, like not entirely a one piece, it's just a regular hoodie, but it's got the white spider all designed on it. But now he's wearing just like a almost one of those denim jackets with like the soft sleeves, and it's like still all black and grays. His jeans are a little bit baggier as opposed to the usually cut up, and even his sneakers have changed. They were like a really musty red, but now they're all black. And he's not wearing a mask, like no mask down here. He's got like it's almost like one of those neck covers things, but that's just turned inside out at this point, no longer with the two white accent designs that was on it before. And he catches up fairly quick, and he's just fixing his hoodie, and he's like, right, let's do this then. And Atlas.
So yeah, I think you mark potential, and
Atlas did not. No.
I'm curious to see how Danny reacts to this.
Oh shit, Cody, is that you? I thought the voice sounded kind of familiar, but look, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna let anyone know if you want me to keep it on the down low.
I think I want to keep it on the down low, just at school. But
Makes sense.
I feel like the others will eventually see me, but it's, less people that know, the better. Either way, safer
Yeah,
for everyone.
yeah.
But
Sure thing.
yeah, I feel naked without the mask.
We can deal with that later. Let's get going.
Of course.
Yeah, and I think like, there's like this. The top panel is going to be, Cody and Danny walking towards the Optimax building, and the bottom panel is under the sewers with Fermata and Thunderchild walking under it towards Optimax. And I think like both of them, things dramatically change right at the edge of Optimax. Like above ground there are fences, there are some guard posts, places that this is basically, if you do not have clearance, do not enter. And underneath, I think there is just this. I mean, comics do have buildings that go deep, deep underground, and I think like this is completely against the normal city planning of how this should go with the sewer system. Like I think like, there's a to protect this building from sewer-based attacks. There is a deep plunge in the sewer, almost like a endless pit, and then a, like a bit forward there is the underside of Optimax, just this very futuristic long tube going underneath, and because I believe there is also the underworld of New Gauntlet City with the like hidden Earth kind of thing in some issues. So I think this will be a call to that kingdom, as like you look down, like you can tell there's light way, way down at the bottom, but that's not a comforting fact right now. And yes, what does Fermata and Thunderchild do, seeing this amazing sight?
Yo, hop on my back. I got it.
Okay. Um, and she'll do so. Oh, I should note that she's wearing a mask. Her like quote unquote villain costumes kind of like just civvies, Twilight Orchestra, and that. They're into what you'd wear, I guess, in an orchestra, which is nice clothing. Her mask I'm stealing from Gundam. Um, um, it is kind of ridiculous looking, I guess. It's hard to describe. Just search Gundam Seed. There we go.
Like, Famada, should I wear a mask so no one knows who I am as well?
Well, nobody knows who I am either. It's mostly for show. I've learned it's important to keep to an aesthetic.
So I think what I would like to do is sort of look up towards a grate which appears towards the bottom of the building. It looks like we've seen on the floor pan. And I'd like to unleash my powers of my superhuman might, human might, to just leap up and pull it away with a hand with Famata on my back.
Oh yeah, let's break into a building.
So the good news is my freaks +3 because I'm transformed. Bang, phew. So that's a 7 plus a 3, so that's a 10.
I believe like there is this like there is that artistic interpretation, like this is hopeless, like that huge gap between this futuristic building and the edge you're on, and Thunderchild just like gets down lower and lower, lower, like Miley Cyrus dropping it with a twerk, and then just springs up and crosses that gap like it's nothing, tackles into the grate, doesn't even have to grab onto it, and you are both inside.
I think
I'm going to sort of shrug and say, it was like that when I got here.
Fermata's keeping her mouth closed. She nearly screamed the whole thing, but we're meant to be breaking it. But she's like, she's got a face like.
I think like with with that pop up of Thunderchild's one liner, there is like a beep, like this like a high tech looking Roomba device. It's like turning around and looking at you guys. And I think with that, as like the red light comes on in the final panel for its scanning, we will go back up to the top to see our basic bros today in their civvies. How are you guys going to get into this closed off facility up here? I mean, unless Atlas still has some old Optimax memorabilia.
That would make life easier.
I think Atlas's plan is probably just to like kick in the front door. But if Arachnophobe has a more subtle means of entrance, I'm happy to follow his lead. Otherwise, yeah, it's probably just kicking the door in. Sauntering past the door in a casual fashion and then kicking it in.
So is this a delicate approach?
This might be a delicate approach with a intense finale. So I'm thinking, okay, so at the facility, is there like a guard or something I'm gonna have to get past? Like at the
There is
front?
at every cardinal direction there is like a guard post for that direction, and like you can come in and like enter any of these buildings. This is like the Stranger Things science building. If you've seen that, and it's like, but like from every direction you can enter in. It's a highly like just destructive and devastating like function over form construction on this building.
Okay, well, on the basis that I look normal for once, I think that I might have an idea that may work. It's ridiculous, entirely stupid, and I'm going to feel gross for suggesting it. But I say we act as media for a school journal, and we just so happen to be so interested to go inside, even if it's just the front lobby, take a sneak peek. And if that doesn't work, then we'll pound our way in. But with a little bit of insight, maybe like if we just talk to the guard, act like students, might work.
Sure, it's worth a try.
Yeah, and if not, you can pummel them in.
I think someone's trying to provoke their way in with a +1 forward from the original assess, if that's okay.
It's me.
I mean, who wants to provoke? Who wants to be the? I think Arachnophobe or Cody should be the face of this prong, because I mean, Danny's like Cody. We can go in as students. Danny, we can punch the door down.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, no, that's totally gonna work. This is gonna be fine. Everything's gonna work out. We'll be inside. We'll all reunite and kick ass. Pin drop. No, they won't.
So roll 2d6 plus your superior +1.
2d6 plus your superiors. Modifier +1. I think my superior is bad. Or
Superior.
oh no, it's a 0.
Flat,
Zero.
I think, yeah.
Okay, so how do I actually roll this? I'm not entirely.
Just put a 2 in next to the d6. Select your color and hit submit. We just add the modifier, subtract it mentally.
Okay. So that's a 5.
So that is a 6.
A 6.
Mark potential.
Yay.
And I think I think this is going to be a hard move for the team as a whole, but Danny, this was the guard that was one of those that lorded over the people in Optimax back in the day. The one who probably got moved because he kept taking food from y'all before giving it to you. No good memories, but memories. And he remembers you and recognizes your face. What do? You are muted, David.
Sorry, I think possibly even as we're making the approach, I see him clock me, well, I should say, Danny probably doesn't even notice him clocking Danny. I think he obviously does clock Danny. I think maybe his hand starts, going for the panic button sort of thing. but just on seeing him, Danny just shoves Arachnophobe out of the way and launches towards him.
Are you directly engaging? Just going to make push through with collateral damage? How are you doing this?
Yeah, I think directly engaging here. He's just throwing himself. He's not. I mean, it will become. He's not even like trying at this point to like get into the building. He is just going for the guard.
Okay. Okay, since he's engaging, I don't want those guards from the entrance to come out just yet, and I don't know if any have been called. So what I'm gonna do is, can I set up a trap just in case they do?
First, let's see how this engage roll goes. See if there's another hard move, and but after that, yeah, it's probably be easy to set up a trap.
Yes.
That is a 9.
So you could select one.
I think. Yeah, I think it's got to be impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
And I think again, like avoid the the fridging of things. Like there is just like this, and the guard like goes flying out of a window because windows in comics are always non-lethal. And but then like we just see like, and then we hear like another crash, and Danny is just charging through the guard post. And the alarm didn't go off. Everyone is fucking. Well, did you choose dismay, impress, or frighten?
Yeah, I think frightened probably. I think the guards here are just like, they're just guards. This is.
I think I think you start noticing that these guards like are the ones who are watching your people's capture. They know what you can do. They begin running.
All right, that works. Can I have Cody like slowly pull his mask back over,
Yes,
like
you can.
all discretion out the window? Like, yeah,
I think
great job.
I think like we see Cody like pulling up his mask, like, and that's when the camera turns to notice him from the gate.
Perfect. Yeah.
Got to keep that disguise up.
Yep. Nope. And since all discretion's gone, can I use my one per session move with my mask?
Oh, you're switching your mundane with your danger.
I am indeed. So now I have 3 danger and 1 mundane.
That's fine. So yeah, I think we will. Let's take a. Let's go and let's take a break until 15 after, and then we will start taking down this mission.
Oh yeah. I return.
I spent part of the break gathering pictorial influences for the rest of the team that Apollo is on. Their powers will either be evident or be revealed. And I keep opening Discord instead of this. Yes, welcome back, everyone. All our villains are here, and their team is up in the chat room here, so we shall begin. Give me one sec. So yeah, I think that there is a moment like where we pan back to the robot that's about to start scanning Fermata and Thunderchild, and that's when like they're just this has to be from above, just the sound of something big shaking, and then an alarm. I think, yeah, I think the lights go red. I don't think an alarm goes off. Like this is a danger situation from above. As someone mentioned, there probably is like a super something attack every week or so, maybe once a month on a slow period. So they're prepared. So what does and the robot like just I think will slide its visor down and skitter away from Thunderchild and Fermata. What do you two do?
We should get going. Ah, I don't think there's a point in being stealthy anymore. Unless you find a point in it.
Said, well, surely if we recruit them or beat them and do damage to these guys, and we still do some collateral damage, that's got to be like a B minus at worst, right? So is that robot still visible?
It is skittering away like a scared armadillo.
I will pick up part of the grate off the floor and woof it down the corridor after it. I would like to directly engage that threat.
I don't think it's a threat. It did not scan you before, like after the lights changed. I think it's just like you can just take it out with the grate. I will allow that.
Cool, that's fine then. It's just like
I can imagine like the thing is like skittering, and like this shadow appears above it, and it turns and scans like right at the last second as we see the grate hitting it from point blank range, and then you two like walking past it. And
Thunderchild, there is to be collateral damage. Don't worry, I'll take the fall for it. You're muted, David, if you were saying.
I say like, no, I have killed one of my own kind. No, not for real, right? It's just like a second cousin.
I'm evil. I kill family all the time. Yeah, I think that this will like because you got because Danny or because Atlas and Arachnophobe know how to enter this layer. I think like there'll be like this sort of a all in the family like dotted line comic page of like but like and like a close up every now and again like the intense points like Thunderchild like smacking two guards faces together with like a KO symbol on his face or something or oh no, you don't have a TV for a head. I'm thinking of someone else. Like and then like another one up above. Like an arachnophobe can spit or shoot web, right? He has. That's why he has to ingest like every package of beef jerky in the vending machine.
That's correct. He's protein intake to make the organic webbing coming from the spinnerets on his wrist.
Flash paragraph thing, yeah.
But it's all black webbing as well. It's not like the traditional white webbing.
I think like there's like we see like, the front doors and like there just like is like these three guards against the window in different shapes, like black webbing on their back, pressing them up there, and like all these little different nice pages until the elevator doors open up. Arachnophobe and Atlas step out to be with Fermata and Thunderchild.
You do have problems.
Yeah, we tried going in silently, but
Things got a little loud.
It's like, I'm an 8-foot robot. Why can't you do stealth like me and Fermata? And he sort of puts out a high five, knuckle fist towards Fermata to tap.
She'll tap it with her palm.
perfect.
This is thought bubble like, oh my god, my best friend's so square.
Well, we're all in one piece and together, so I guess we can keep on looking. We have to find where the lab is, right? It's not far.
Yeah, let's go. And I think by this point, Atlas has, as I got into costume, he's put like it's like a kind of Dread Pirate Robert Zorro style mask, just like a hood with holes in, basically.
Yeah, so I think we are engaging Optimax as a team. So, who is team leader, do you all think?
I reckon this is Danny's op. If there's
Yeah,
not a
I think
leader right now, we're all behind Danny.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm not. Danny doesn't really feel like leadership material, but he definitely does feel like he's leading things here.
This is something grounds like it's a personal thing, so we'll back him up.
Okay, so Atlas, do you have influence on everyone?
I don't know.
Oh, what's your purpose in this fight?
It is to get the to retrieve the sample of serum. It is definitely though also to try and get Apollo on side.
So yeah, is everyone else's goal to collect the serum and or get Apollo on Danny's side?
I'm just here to collect the serum. If Apollo comes over, that's a bonus, but that's more to help get the serum. So that's not really a concern of Fermata's.
I'm down with that plan, unless it fails, and I want to mash some heads.
I think Arachnophobe wants the serum, and he heard that getting a good grade was equivalent to recruiting someone, so he'll give that a shot too.
Okay, so one more team. Does anyone distrust Atlas?
Nah,
Sounds
not
like
on
a
my
no
part.
to me. And are you all unprepared or off balance? I mean, plan didn't go as expected, but I mean, 4 of you, maybe 4 of them, seems fair, right? Yeah, so we are sitting at the 3 team as you all walk down the hall. There's like this long science building hallway, Ghost in the Shell-esque, high-tech, good detailed backgrounds. I think these G.I. Joe stormtrooper-esque, like fully armored, faceless goon type security force comes out of one side passageway and pulls out pulse rifles because you can't risk shooting bullets during science experiments. And they take a position in front of you, much like a line of musketeers. Halt! What do y'all do? Who does something first?
I think Cody's just gonna be like, "Ha, good one," and I want to directly engage the threat and see if I can get rid of some of those pulse rifles they're holding. I don't like guns being pointed at me.
Sounds good. Are you directly engaging by like just flinging a bunch of web at them? But
Yeah, I'm quite literally just like whip, and like trying to glob the guns and pull back. So I'm trying to take something from them if the rolls work out.
roll plus danger.
Yeah, and Arachnophobe is hyped for the fight because yeah, his danger is switched out, so it's a +3, I believe. Oops, not meant to be superior, but +3, so if I say it's an 8. On a 7-9, pick one. So yeah, taking all of the pulse rifles from them and just yanking them.
The sad thing is, this was a cool plan in theory.
Ooh.
Unlike Thunderchild, who did it in practice and had a kick-ass one-liner, you tug all these pulse rifles, and they're kind of bulky and heavy as they start gumming up your webbing, and it like knocks you on the side of the head as it flies past you. Take a powerful blow. So
Okay,
just you have
well
no
deserved.
condition, so you just roll 2d6, hope for low.
Okay, one powerful heart.
Hey, can I defend?
You certainly can defend him from his own bad planning.
So I'd like to defend and attempt just to grab the gun out of the air. So I'm going to defend the morning with Savior. And my Savior is 0. So this is a flat roll. Chunk. Oh, that's a 9.
You have
You have
influence
influence.
over
That's a
Arachnophobe.
half, so that's a 10.
Yeah. So how is this is this like a huge like nigh boulder sized glob of webbing and pulse rifles is coming towards you? What does Thunderchild do?
Thunderchild grabs the rifle just, you see the shot of like Thunderchild's arm coming out in the panel as just about to hit, and he grabs it, and then you sort of see the picture of Thunderchild with the gun in his hand in a rock hero sort of phase going like, pose going, oh yeah, pushes it back down the corridor.
Yes, badass.
Yeah. The guards
So what I'd like to do, by the way, is on a 7 to 9. Yeah, but I get to choose one, don't I? So I'm going to add a team into the pool.
nicely done. We are at 4 team. Wee. Yeah, and the guards will the security will begin panicking, running away, and that's when the klaxon hits. The comic panel of just that annoying low-pitched wail sound of alarm piercing the air. But you're free to make your way to the lab currently. It seems like nothing's in your way. And I mean, Atlas did get to see like, I mean, I think you all saw the floor plan, so you're all just like running to the lab. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And as you guys get to the lab, I think there is like this the doors open sideways, Star Trek style, but there is this like green field very translucent, holographic-ish, standing over it. Probably a scanner of some kind to let people know who enter and who leave.
Upon entering the lab, could I possibly assess the situation? Take a proper good look around?
I believe. I'm just wondering, does everyone enter the lab?
I'd like to assess before, if anyone's going to assess, sort of put a hand out and assess before we walk through and see what that green beam is.
It's a good idea, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so Thunderchild, assess with electronics.
Assess with superior. I'm not very superior, but I'll give it a go. Oh. Yeah, that's a 10. -1, 9. Oh.
Ooh, you get one question. Unless someone wants to spend team to boost that to a 10 again.
Yeah, I can assist. I think thanks to the our communicate our magic communicators and kind of like that a bit of telepathy that Fermata has, like I think at least like I can like help somehow, even though he's a robot, help like boost his senses, or like, you know, here's corners he didn't see. um
Good, so ask two, Thunderchild.
What here can I use to disable the scanner?
You can enter. This is a scanner for bio signals, so it will not trigger on you, and you can disable it at the panel behind, enter, turn, panel on the wall, turn off.
And yeah, what in here do I spot it might be the biggest threat?
You know, you remember the small ampule of serum you saw from Dominic Carnifex's preliminary information?
Mm-hmm.
There is an entire cryostasis style capsule of some humanoid figure just inside the gel, held inside stasis in the room. If one ampule of this is a sample of serum, this person's overloaded on it. Probably not best to wake them up.
Okay. So Thunderchild sort of puts out their arm and stops them before they walk through and say, this is a job for me. I'm your Pinocchio after all. And he sort of walks through the field and presses the button to switch the sensors off. And then the torso, his legs stay in one round, but the breast of the body spins around and the thumbs come up like that. And then he spins back.
Way to go, Thunderchild. And this time, Cody will be the one to hold up the high five.
Yeah, nice one, kid. Let's get this this stuff and get out.
Don't accidentally wake up Luke Skywalker in the back to tank there, because that's going to go down real bad.
I'm sure that won't happen.
Who? Luke who?
I like to
Crossed
imagine.
arms. Whoa. Hold on. Who in this team has not seen Star Wars?
I'm not familiar with this name. Is this a hero or a villain we should be aware of?
That's a question that they've been asking for a very long time now. Loads of people argue about it, but I suppose it depends on your point of view.
We are watching those movies when we go back in chronological order. You will watch the pod races, and I will not hear a word against you, or else.
That we will, TC. That we will. But first, let's get out of here alive.
Yeah, so you guys come up to like you guys are looking around this lab. It is like there is this huge supercomputer because you always have to have a supercomputer in labs. You know, a screen that a theater movie could project upon. Just lots of different like a DNA strand in one place. Isn't that cool? Some kind of meta analysis in another place. Ooh, is that a skull? Like a 3D holographic skull? Awesome sauce. And as like you walk around, I like to imagine there is a Jurassic Park style like embryo centrifuge with several like the one you saw, the serum you saw was the purple red. There's because it is Pride Month, there is a rainbow of colors in there. You're not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But what Fermata notices about this place, because you are keenly aware of music, sound, harmonics, there is this is a harmonic sensor lock around this cage. Like you have to have a certain sound being played while you unlock it, or shit goes down. Like I mean, because comic science has to be awesome.
Yeah. Uh, I think like I hear that block, and I think it's my turn to like get everyone to like halt, and I'm making a gesture that is meant to mean stay silent, but I don't know if that translated to everyone else. I think I don't know. She would have told everyone. That's what that means. And I think like she purses her lips and like starts to whistle. Um, but there's a strange sort of magical effect where like she looks like she's whistling, but the sound is like a scratchy kind of harmonica. Um, that kind of like the sound of it will start to like interact with the lock with the music that's happening. This is probably on a leash
It is
powers.
definitely an unleash, or you can I'd say either unleash or provoke the system to release only the samples you want.
Well, they both roll superior. Um, actually, let me
One
see.
was freak.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, one was freak. Yeah, why did I think it both roll superior? Why did I think that? Who was my freak? Oh, that's why because they're both zero for me. Uh, um, very level-headed apparently.
I think
Um,
either way you can take if Thunder Child's okay with it, +1 forward to not wake up Mr. Mrs. Gooby.
Skywalker. Uh,
Yeah.
I'll roll freak. I think this is like using her powers, or at least her knowledge. Um, okay. Aha! Wonder where you were, Mr. Failure. That's a 4. Of course it happens with me. Of course it does.
And I'm going to check one thing before I do this hard move. Arachnophobe, did you leave a trap at the doorway you guys entered?
The doorway into the lab.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Please roll your
Just
dangerous
take
web.
precaution.
You're kind of breaking up on my end.
Okay.
Or your camera stopped. You're
Yeah, I'm not
frozen.
sure what that. Mm. Can you hear me now?
You're kind of robot-y, but like you were coming in fine for a moment, but the camera had just stopped.
Yeah, I think my internet's playing up. My apologies.
Yeah, I can hear you fine now, but like
Okay.
it's okay. You'll just look concerned for the rest of this game, perhaps, or that.
Let me just turn the camera. Let me just turn the camera off for a little bit, and then give my internet like a moment to breathe, and then I'll try turning it back on, and hopefully it'll be fine. But roll dangerous for my web, right?
It is your mask label, and your mask label is danger.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. So that would be a 3. So I need to roll 2 of these. I'm not sure if it rolled. Did it roll? Ooh. I think that's 10.
You got a 13 total, so yeah.
Sweet.
So this,
Pretty good web then.
yeah. So let me check this. Yeah. So what happens is the air around like you start feeling Fermata that you're grass whistling into the air itself starts fighting your vibrations, starts fighting the harmonics you're trying to impose upon this system. And that's when you realize something is controlling the air currents. And then there's another noise from the hallway, the sound of metal on metal, not scratching, but scraping. And the woman from the first picture turns around into the lab, is walking close towards you, levels the baseball bat, and is about to, I think, jump on Fermata, and that's when the webbing just explodes around her, and she gets trapped.
Sounds about right.
One down.
And I think from like you see like from your whistling the all the ampules you were looking at sink in, all the golden ampules begin coming up. It unlocks. You've unlocked a serum, not the one you're here to get, but you've unlocked a serum.
Yeah, that's not the one I'm looking for.
Yeah.
um, um, I think I'm just gonna have to. Part of me wants to keep whistling, but I think because there's already one person there. I think I just say like, watch one down, three to go.
I'd like
Watch
to.
out.
I've got. I've got it. I think Thunderchild shouts, and I'd like to use Unstoppable. And you smash your way through 3 to get to a foot away from something. So I'll spot the vial, and I'm just going to try and punch through and grab
Oh,
it.
you're trying to
And
like just like
literally,
break through this
Unstoppable,
container
grab
and
to tear
yeah,
it up, take the vial out. What could go wrong?
roll it.
I'm rolling with danger. I haven't failed a roll yet, so let's see if this is infectious. Oh no! Oh yes, that's slow. Damn you! I thought it was a 10, but now it's a 7. But that's still an 8. So I'll be trying to, yeah. So on an 8 with. On a 7 to 9, I have to choose one. I have to mark a condition, lose something behind, or take something with you. And I think what is it going to be? I think he just sort of hit harder than the expected and has caused a chunk of damage because I have just smashed my way through it. So I'm feeling guilty because I was trying to be a good guy
So you could
and do what we
also,
were told.
there were a lot of other serums you could be grabbing two at once.
Uh,
I mean, unless you want to be guilty, go ahead and be
yeah,
guilty
I'll
if you
grab
want.
2. I'm a kind player who will always give you something to hit me with. So I'm gonna grab like a fist. Well, maybe they're all like in there like one of those 6 tubes. I just gonna grab a chunk of them, pull them out my hand, going victory.
That's perfect. Yeah, and that's when I think Atlas can start feeling the air, the same air pressure he knows when Apollo is flying. and there is this blast of energy which frees the webbing from its walls. The woman who is trapped does fall forward with a splat as she begins to unstick herself, and yeah, you guys were making good time, but the squad from Optimax is here, and well, three of them are staring you down. One is trying to get off the floor.
And I think Atlas is going to look up to Apollo and say, Apollo, look, these people don't care about you. You know what they did to us. I'm sorry I couldn't take you with me. I needed to get out, and I shouldn't have left you, but I don't plan on doing it a second time.
Are you provoking him and taking +1 forward from your original assess?
Yes, I think I am. That is a 7. So just.
Yeah, so let's see what happens. I think what color were Apollo's eyes before?
I think they were. I'm gonna say green.
Right now they're purple red, but for a moment they flash green, and you see there's a dip in his 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 altitude, but then the purple red color envelops his eyes once again. He cries out more of like a war cry than in pain or anything, and unleashes a bolt of energy. But I think like at the moment where his eyes turned green, like again the altitude dip just makes it miss you. He's overreacting. Take influence over him.
Cool. And I think I think at that point Dan is just going to snarl out to the others. They're definitely under some kind of something. We're going to have to do this the hard way.
Beat them senseless. Maybe then they'll see reason.
Can't you deprogram them with like Beethoven or something for matter?
We have the serum. We don't need to engage at the moment. We just need to go. Is this worth it?
I'm not entirely sure if we're gonna have an option to leave without a fight, at least to get out.
I think Fermata looks. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say unless you have a trick up your sleeve.
Fermata looks to Danny, to Atlas. Is this worth it?
Yeah, it's worth it.
Cover your ears. I think Fermata makes this gesture, and I think like when she kind of like blows into this exemplary occult powers, it's just incredibly vague and broad. When she kind of like blows into it, I guess it's more arcane rays of power. This like sonorous kind of like scream kind of like blasts out. It's a disorientating kind of like wave. You're meant to like meddle the mind, or at least keep you confused or confuse the mind.
Ramada used Confuse Ray.
Yeah, is it super effective? We'll see. Yeah, I think this isn't like directly engage because apparently Atlas thinks they can be saved.
You're trying to affect 4 people at once. I don't think this is directly
Yeah,
engaged.
that's true. This is more unleashing. Okay. I get all the bad rolls now. That's a 4. It's amazing. Who will trust her with anything in the future now?
How does... Yeah, the man who is, with the moth wings, like, I think this blast, you see his wings begin beating faster, and the air pressure drops. Your blast of sonic energy literally drops with the air pressure, and he begins diving at you, arms outstretched in a full-on tackle. He is not super strong, but he did have, distance and altitude on you. So as he slams into you, take a powerful blow.
He's not. He doesn't have far greater power than me. We're kind of even, right?
He has moth wings. He has air. He has like air time on you. That's all he has.
Yeah. Yeah. I could grow up to have lackeys someday. So yeah, this is just a regular. Take a powerful blow. Oh, I have one condition. Okay, that's a 5. So at least needs to stand strong there. I think the way I kind of like, stand strong is like, yeah, he crashes into me, and I think I kind of just grab him by his. Let's see, was he wearing a shirt? Was he? Yeah, his shirt, and kind of like roll so that his momentum kind of like means that like when we crash into a wall, he takes the blow. It's not gonna like hurt him, but at least won't hurt me, and um, yeah, so at least that's where I am at the moment.
I like to imagine there's a panel where he's like crashing. He's about to crash into you. Then there's this panel in the middle that is completely different. Like Dominic Carnifex having this like aerial robot slam into you, and you just Aikido throw him into the wall and like slam with him with momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So quite, and I believe that at the as that happens, we see this woman who in the picture has impressive looking hair, normally just bald, but this psionic symbiote starts sliding out of her head, growing, looking like hair, vines, teeth, claws, shit. And she rolls her neck and slings the symbiote towards Arachnophobe. Arachnophobe, what do you do?
Oh boy, the arachnid alarm is going crazy. I think I could engage to. Yeah, I think as soon as that is the hair is coming for me, I'm gonna flip a web to the left, flip a web to the right, pull back and slingshot myself towards it. Gonna try and be a little bit acrobatic with it so that I can just maybe spin or flip past the hair itself, just to go diving right into her.
Oh, so you're trying to directly engage past this hair. This cannot go wrong at all.
Nope, not at all.
Please roll.
Superior active no. I think.
Please roll danger. This is directly engage.
I'm
Your best
not.
stat right now.
I'm not sure why it's rolled twice. I don't know which one. There's a lot of dice out, and I think I did it wrong.
Oh, you can re-roll dice already there. I think what you do is generate more dice.
Okay.
You can select just 2 and then re-roll selected.
Okay, thank you. My bad. I'm new to this thingy. Right, so let me just re-roll because I don't know which one of those applied.
No, you got a 7. It has the last total roll. So you got
fantastic.
a 10.
So I can choose 2. I will resist or avoid their blows, and I would like to no, because I think everyone's going to be busy. I'll impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. hopefully impress. Trying to make a good impression, you know.
Okay, so you pretty much slingshot fastballed yourself into this, correct?
Yes.
So I think this psionic like we see the like Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, Kingpin final scenario. I like to imagine the arachnid alarm has this amazing psychedelic look in the background of the like the image Rob Liefeld panels, but with artistic purpose instead of just blocks of color.
Yeah, I'm all there for it. I know exactly what you mean as well.
Yeah, and but you literally like guides you like which like just like the fraction of an inch you need to get like for this sonic claw to miss you. This perfect arch in your back as this maw tries to grapple you. This spin as the tentacles reach out and you land right behind this interesting specimen as I think like you can just like land this quick like chop to her neck as the psionic entity is all directly where you came from, not behind her to protect her.
Mm.
And did you impress, dismay, or frighten your opposition?
I think I would like to go for impress, and I'm just gonna try and say, yeah, you know, fun shit you guys have on the ground here and all, but it's lame. You should just tag along with us. Might be a whole lot easier and it hurt less.
And I think you have definitely impressed the ogre hag as she has shaken off the last of your webbing and like Giganta is slowly growing to fill this large laboratory. She wants to take you all on at full power. So I will, I think, turn to our lovely robot. There's a giant woman in this room. What do?
Which of the pieces of art is that? Is that the one with the
Baseball bat and the eye patch.
I look at her and go, "Whoa! Dig your moves and your ink. You sure we've got a fight? Can we not just like go on a date sometime?" And I'd like to provoke her.
Oh yeah.
A lover and a fighter.
Take one forward as you have the serum on you.
So hold on. Provoke is superior, so that means I'm rolling on a flat roll. So it's got to be the one that goes wrong, right? Whoa, no, it's a 9. Does someone in the team want to help a brother out?
Someone did just impress her.
Yeah, I could hook you up. I got you. So how do I help you out?
Yeah, you spend a point of from the team and then role play through how that benefits me trying to go on a date with me rather than us having a fight.
Okay. So we have 2 in the team pool left, right?
Yeah, because we spent the third. But I think like that's when like she's growing, like she's too hyped for this. Maybe her powers are tied to her emotions, maybe something of that nature. But she hits her head as she reaches like a critical mass, and you see the her eyes, like the others, or like Atlas did, fade from the purple red, and she goes smaller. Now she's only like a story tall. So I mean, it's still cool. Like still giant, still large woman, not giant. And
Hey, Jacob Mordecai always had a thing for tall women, and he hasn't met any for a while.
But she'll cough and just like, you can get us out. You can end this.
Oh yeah, no problems. And I know where there's like passable coffee and sweet vending machines. Come with us if you want to live. I've always wanted to say that.
And I think she raises her baseball bat, and like there is this. She like lunges towards the supercomputer, and slams it into the like massive control panel, and like the alarms begin. The lights change from red to blue, and but the people's eyes start changing. The Mothman is coughing, but now apologizing with every breath as he had tried to tackle Fermata. Apollo is like looking down, like about to launch this huge uh, blast of energy at Atlas, and stops with his arm raised, and looks down with those beautiful green eyes once more. Uh, the woman that Arachnophobe like neck chopped, not happy, but has had it worse.
Okay.
There's-
Oh, go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
I was
Oh.
wondering how y'all were going to escape.
Yeah, as it saying? Well, let's not hang around. We should get out of here now. We'll clear a path if you guys want to follow, and we'll play things by ear.
We'll hash
Sounds
it out
wonderful.
once we're on the surface.
And I think yeah, like that's when that canister with the Luke Skywalker in it tilts upwards, and slowly the ooze is being drained out. And
Okay. Slight change in plans. You guys get going. I'll bring up the rear.
Do we want like the subtle exit or the express exit, boss?
I think the time for subtleties passed.
Exit stage right.
yeah, I think the ogre hag looks at Thunderchild like, "Are you as useful as you are boastful?"
It's a hands on hips. This sort of arrogant 13-year-old child. I'm literally gonna moonwalk us out of this building. But I would like to unstoppably smash my way through the back of the building with a moonwalk.
Please stylishly exit and earn an Xbox achievement if this goes off.
It goes off because that's an 11 before my +3.
I like to imagine like you're literally moonwalking past her, and she's just like looking like she's shrinking down more, but
Sort of like he sort of does this, like he have his head hair, he would slick back, take that like teenager trying to impress a girl sort of move, and then his sort of legs start pistoning up, and with one leap he goes straight out through the side of the walls in a moonwalk form, following a Thunderchild size hole through the building, and then he's outside, thumbs up, signature move.
yeah, and I like to imagine like there are a few panels on the way out that are just Easter eggs for people who are into New Gauntlet comics lore, and like in like one panel there has to be a science experiment ferret doing some kind of weird occult lore, because this is New Gauntlet Comics Midnight Mustelid run. But you guys get out to I'll say like the final panel. We just see that cool exit and Thunderchild at the like main gate, so to say. And then the next page, we are going to be back at the School of Hard Knocks with your rescued requisitions, we might say. And let's take a final break until 10 after, and then have a lot of narrative expositioning for the last bit of this game. So see y'all at 10 after.
All right. I am present. Well, technically I'm arachnophobe, but you know.
Trying to think of who to have guest star as like a speaker in the School of Hard Knocks for enemies.
It's up to you. You know more about this shared world than all of us, I think.
Oh no, that is probably not true, but I know a bit of what I ran and what I snagged from and what I've played as. But I'm looking at the modern page. I think I'll just have to pull from everyone and give some people a chance. As today's guest speaker is Sforzando in the hierarchical practices for minion and mook optimization. And best ways to keep your mooks not only motivated to serve you, but motivated to squeal on anyone who would tempt your organization to the other path, to go to the extra legal, ultra legal, super legal extradition route. And the correct manner of loot division for maximum profit gain. And
Armada's taking furious notes during this talk.
and I think like to show off like how power like sort of how purple manishly powerful he is. He like his most trusted mooks are up here like giving shows and like demonstrations. When you have three mooks and one betrays you, what do you do? And like the other two like mooks like grab one, like start tying them to a chair. Nothing happens beyond like like the show of what to do. But and I think like this is like the like a one page who's that villain buffer insert. But the next panel when you all get back to school after this class is uh, Dominic Carnifex. You had someone who's very good at sciences in your background, didn't you, Thunderchild? It was
It's
yeah. Go ahead.
my dad, but also part of the same. Yeah, he was a genetic. He Dr. Morrowed himself, but he got Alfonso Tiger Man Romano.
Yeah, yeah. So I think like there is this like the panel like there is a sort of open room. There are chairs to sit down. It's very much like where Amanda Waller would meet with I don't want to say lessers, but to Amanda Waller, everyone's lesser. So, but just like this formal judges kind of room or principal room with Dominic Carnifex behind this desk, Alfonso holding like with this I think with this velvet or felt lined container, like putting every serum that Thunderchild brought in carefully to be examined, and the four new recruits sitting kind of worriedly and anxiously in these chairs as the four of you are present in this room of criminal intrigue. And I think Dominic Carnifex is like looking at the most like up to date streaming news of like what happened at the Optimax Black site from the dark webs, the dark side webs, let's say. And she looks at, I think she finally pulls the article down, And what do you have to say for yourselves?
Well, I don't mean to brag for on behalf of everyone, but I think we kicked ass. We got what we wanted and more. And some new recruits. And the Arachnophobe is quite pleased with himself and leaning back in his seat.
And Alfonso chimes in. You've gotten several biomedical samples that are beyond the current ideas of medical science, maybe even beyond the current ethics of medical science. And Sforzando has to be here as well because he is the guest of honor today. And he, but I think Dominic Carnifex then looks at Thunderchild, and there was a lot of collateral damage.
Lady, the building's still standing. I'm an 8 foot tall, cool super robot. What do you want out of this?
Oh, no, no, you misunderstand me, student. I said collateral damage would influence your grade. I'm adding 10 points for the amount attributed to Optimax. Good job. And she gives you a genuine thumbs up.
Internally, the spirit of a 13-year-old boy blushes.
Uh, I think that's when Alfonso Sforzando is heading over to the four new recruits, the Optimax Quadrant, and is one of his mooks is some kind of nurse. We see some like some implements of what's going to just be blood drawing, but we're not going to focus on any of that because it's a comic. And but I mean, definitely can question what's going on to these four. I assume some of you are interested in this.
I've never learned to go against whatever Sforzando does. Um, as far as I'm concerned, he's got plans and ideas, and um, I respect those. I think Fermata is like back in the same pose she was at the start of the session, hands folded. I think there was this like twitch when Dominic Carnifex was like, looks like she was about to reprimand Thunderjaw. She was ready to stand up and claim responsibility for messing up, which to be fair, she was, I think, was the only one who actually did mess up. Um, um, but I think she had to like stop herself um, since Thunderjaw was being reprimanded. But yeah, she's just sitting there like, again, placid face. I mean, if anyone's interested in what Sforzando was doing, it's probably Danny or anyone else, but not Fermata.
Yeah, I think Danny is maybe pointedly not looking at the folk we liberated from Optimax, and he just sort of turns to Domina and says, "But like they're free to do what they want, right? They don't have to stick around here. I don't think that's the way you run things, right?"
And she'll look dour for a moment. They're going to be our guests for a time. Currently, they are under the influence of a medication we don't know about. We're going to find out how to make it, how to cauterize any withdrawal symptoms with minimal suffering, minimal symptoms. And afterwards, we will see what they wish. We are not here to press our way upon anyone, though eager recruits are always welcomed. And we don't. And I think like she like does like the sales pitch sort of more to them than to you, and we don't turn the other cheek.
Good. As long as once they're up on their feet again, they can leave if they want.
Arachnophobe, having gained his powers from experimentation and the serums, he is gonna give a little motion to them, to both Dormina and Alfonso, and be like, "So, do we know what's in what those do, or you know, will we get to know, or is that gonna be a little bit too much for us?"
And I think Alfonso just sort of like there's this feline rumble in his throat, and he lets out this large, sort of almost cute yawn. If he was a cat instead of a violent-headed beast, and goes like, "You are one of the top graduating classes. While most of this is need to know, consider yourselves in the know. When things progress, you will be briefed."
Right? Sounds good to me. Cody now looks like he's attentive himself, like sat up, interested, genuinely. Less slouchy.
I think Thunderchild sort of tries to have a as discreet as an 8 foot tall robot can do, but this probably everyone can overhear this to Famata going like, "What do you what do you say the woman with the baseball bat was called?"
Codename Ogre Hag.
Ogre Hag.
So I think on the way back you will know that her name is Kasumi.
So I think Terrence also leans over to Famata and says, like, "She's kind of cute, right? But she ain't gonna be interested in someone like me. I'm not even like real, right? She's gonna probably be more into someone like Danny with like the moody and the hair and the urs. That's what girls like, right? I'm not even a real person."
Jacob, you're as real as she is. She didn't follow Atlas out of that place, she followed you. Then you moonwalked out of the place. That says a lot.
Do you think I should like ask her for coffee? Not that I drink coffee. What am I gonna drink, man? Neutrinos? How do you date someone when you're a robot?
I don't know if I can answer that, Jacob. But if you need someone with you when you ask her out. Okay, I think like she goes her out, and then I think she does have telepathy, so she can just like speak in your mind.
Yeah, okay.
Probably should have just been doing that. If you need a Jacob, I can be with you when you ask her. I can't speak for all girls, but I think she'd be interested in you.
So I think I'm trying to share a vulnerability or weakness. If someone asks if they think I'm losing or gaining humanity, do you think I have answered that question, sir?
I believe that you are definitely pausing that vulnerability, but for Mata, do you think? I think this is more human, and he's worrying about a date. What about you,
Yeah,
Fermata?
yeah. No, I think Vermont is thinking that like back to like their childhood and um that this is still Jacob. He's still kind of a dork. Uh, very excitable. I mean, not much change except that when he moonwalks, he crashes through walls. Um, so no, I don't think he's lost any humanity at the moment. So I
Yeah.
think I got. I think like Farage says, if if you drink neutrinos, then you drink neutrinos, and if she doesn't respect that, then well, we don't need to respect her.
Awesome. If I was into classical music, I'd have asked you out instead. But yo, let's go and do this. So I get to move my mundane up, but I'm going to put a label down. I'm going to put superior down, and probably take Fumata by the hand and walk towards the others.
Yeah, and Kasumi, normally, like, I think, normally Kasumi would be pretty imposing. She has the big WNBA energy, as she is, like, without the power going on, she is 6'8", and but she is like she's had her blood drawn. They're putting this cute little band-aid on her arm, and she looks up at one eye narrowing at you both. Sup?
Yeah, yes, Kasami. Just want to make sure you're settling in. Me and my team, we're sort of a big thing around here. So, like, if you want someone to show you the ropes where things are, go for a coffee sometime, or whatever. Just let me know, right?
You're a big thing. Do you know anything about the yokai? Have you heard about that program that happened here? Back in Japan, I took down one of the last remaining great castles for a lark, and you're asking me for coffee? Man, this place is pretty awesome. Like, like I have to admit, I've never had the mech come to me. So, like, do you know any good places? I've kind of been trapped in an evil laboratory for the past 7 months. Not gotten out much.
I'm like connected to the internet. I've got super broadband in my brain. I'm sure we can figure something out. Yelp's still a thing, right?
You're connected to the internet? That is so amazing. I just have a baseball bat that grows with me. Yeah, this is like if I can. Oh, right. And she looks kind of down. I don't think I can go anywhere until we find out if I'm addicted to this stuff or not. But like if you wanted to bring coffee down to me, I mean, all I have is free time.
Sure. Like it's not a thing. I can get coffee. How do you like it? Do you like donuts? What type of donuts do you like?
I think like, there's like this cute conversation going on as Fermata was brought with Thunderchild this time. I'm actually like, as it's going like as soon as it started going good, Fermata checked out.
Oh yeah, no, I think once it's going good. I think she's tried to catch Sforzando's eye.
Well,
Um,
he was definitely coming towards you with like he has the 4 vials of their blood. The nurse Mook is looking particularly acolyte-ish with their hood, just their bottom of their face showing, and Sforzando just strides over with supreme presence.
so true.
You did well, I assume.
I my team did well. I I did not do as well as I would have liked.
What was the cause of this?
I tried to put my training to use. I was taught to how to shape my voice with the world, and it it did not harmonize as I thought it would.
Are you saying you are out of tune with the orchestra?
I I do not wish to be.
Do not worry. And he puts a hand on your shoulder, which I think to anyone but a Twilight Orchestra cultist, it would be very creepy until he used his powers, but to you, it's kind of just how it's always been.
Hmm.
Sometimes a dissonant note can cause problems, yes. But once it's corrected, everything is for the better. You have brought great pride to the Twilight Orchestra just by being a member and just by being enrolled in this school. Don't forget that you are a part of our future, an important part, and he is going to influence you.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to lower your mundane and raise your superior.
See, he's kind of saying the right things. Um, so I will take it. For sure. I
I
think like
believe you
yeah.
have a move that plays off of it too.
Yeah, legacy matters. When someone from your legacy causes your labels to shift, I mark potential and take a +1 forward. Um, yeah, I think he's kind of saying the right things. Formato was like was a bit dissuaded by messing up at that block, but um, I think like yeah, she kind of like straightens up at his words and says, I I'm I'm honored to hear that. I would like to make those words a certainty. I would like to ensure that I do not stray from helping us fulfill our goal.
Your function is going perfectly well right now, Fermata. Just don't err and don't doubt yourself. And like this, even as stilted as this is coming, this is like the most. Sforzando takes compliments. Sforzando does not give compliments.
Yeah, he
It's like
seems the type.
this is like this is like effulgent praise for a cat from its like owner to most people. Like these few words, and he will. It's like some mook like kind of goes out of step, and he just goes rigid. It's like, now if you'll excuse me, I have behavior to correct.
Of course.
And he will make a exit with all the. And I think Alfonso is heading out as well with the serums to go medically delve into, and Dominic Carnifex will like not wave you off, but just like this meeting is dismissed. You've done well. I like to imagine like just for a running gag for a few issues, like this screen or this holographic screen pops up. Grade A plus minus plus minus plus minus plus minus. And like the final points are being added up, and it ticks over to 93 A plus. Or like and then she'll show these four to their dorm, and after that, school is out for today. You are free.
Hmm. Uh, I think Arachnophobe is gonna try and catch Danny out just outside of the meeting room. Kind of like bump a fist to the shoulder, like so. That feel good?
Not as good as I'd hoped, but nothing. Do you want to ditch this place and go grab a couple of beers, maybe?
Sure. I need to find a place to start my project anyway. So why not?
Cool.
We'll bounce out of the School of Hard Knocks for the day, I suppose. You think
Let's
the others
say-
might want to come, except not like TC, because I don't know if robots can drink beer.
Let's just make it the two of us, yeah.
Sure.
I think at that moment, just to throw a wedge in this, Apollo will come out and look at both of you, followed by the symbiote lady. Are you going to show us to where we're going to be staying? And hey, and did Apollo know you as Danny, Daniel, anything else?
I think he probably knew me as Atlas back in the program.
You're looking well, Atlas.
Thanks. I'm sorry about everything. I guess I can show you where you can where you can I can show you to a dorm if you want.
Yeah. You got nothing but time, right?
Yeah, I think as you is Arachnophobe going to turn his back on the woman whose neck he did a judo chop to?
Well, I was gonna say while Atlas and Danny are Atlas and Apollo are talking, he would have been sizing up the other one up,
She is a probably 5'4" Puerto Rican woman, very I'd say avian sharp features and these piercing blue eyes which are just boring holes into you.
yeah.
So I'm going to throw you an option, Arachnophobe. Okay. You're going to roll mundane. Are you going to pierce her mask or roll for your obligations?
Ooh. I'll go ahead and pierce her mask. Got to. But I have one mundane at the moment, so let's see how this goes. Did it roll? Oh, wait. There we go. 7, so 8. Oh, no, 10. Ooh, just loaded. 10. Well, 11.
You get 3 questions from that list. Use them well.
Oh, boy. All right. Let me just get to that list. There we go. Pierce the mask. What are you really planning? Or rather, no, sorry. What do you intend to do? That's a much better one.
She intends to learn all about your team as she can.
And what is she really planning?
The
she planning
best
to stick
way
around?
To I think you get the arachnid alarm goes off, and you can tell that she is planning. She's planning a method of attack, especially upon you. Maybe not her. Maybe the thing that resides inside her. Is that her? You can't quite. It's getting hard. Like the arachnid alarm and your piercing are just kind of. You're not sure. She didn't talk much.
And I get one more. So how could I gain influence over her?
By promising her that you'll be the one who will be checking in on her from your team.
Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah, he's gonna be sizing her up while Atlas and Apollo are talking, and then as soon as Atlas uh, says that they can show them to the dorms, Arachnophobe will add in, yeah, we can walk you there and pretty much tell you how shit works around here. Pretty simple, pretty sweet, easy to pick up, even for the laziest of us.
Yeah, and I think like you guys can just take them to the like if you guys want to go for a beer after this, we can you know I imagine Atlas can be as callous as here's your room. Bye. I don't know if he will be, but uh yeah, you guys can all show them to their I think like they're all going to get their separate they're called dorms, but like everyone gets their own room. You don't want to be like, like unlike Arachnophobe, some people here do have secret identities, but nowhere else to go. So like you don't want to have a roommate with that.
Yeah. Okay, so after that, I suppose we will go for a few beers on a rooftop somewhere. It has to be a rooftop.
Exactly. Yeah, I was thinking that.
Rooftop strike again.
Okay, so up on said rooftop, we'll say that there's like it's a familiar rooftop for Arachnophobe because he's always like out and about in the city. So there's probably like a bench there, probably a cooler that you might have brought up for beers, like a small one, mind you, or just brought a keg, who knows. But there's also like a duffel bag tucked under the bench that Arachnophobe got out, put aside, and there's just spray paint cans, like of all shades and colors. And the entrance that to the building itself is like a rectangular little thing, opens up to go in. He has selected the wall next to it, and while they're chilling, drinking, talking, we can talk and spray as it were. He's going to be doing a mural sort of deal, but it's more like the shadow of what appears to be a giant robot man, like the Wile E. Coyote. Like as soon as he's gone through, and you just have the indent on the wall, he's just going to put that right next to it. Like just spray it and casually talking, occasionally stopping just for the beer, walking up on the wall just to crouch down and get at a different angle, and back down.
Look, thanks for having my back back there. I know I kind of lost it, and
nah. From the meeting this morning, could tell that it sounded personal just from the tension on your voice. I don't need to know all of your past to know that it's obviously a soft spot. So,
yeah, I just I already fucked things up with Apollo once before, and I didn't. I would have done the same again if it hadn't been for you. Well, all of you guys being there as well. So, thanks.
No problem. I get it. Sometimes things go down, and you just need that extra little bit of oomph. And we seem to be getting things done pretty well, all of us, actually. So I think we could keep at it and get somewhere.
I'm going to say, Atlas, are you sharing a vulnerability while Arachnophobe is sharing a triumphant celebration?
Yeah, I think that sounds fair.
Hey, that sees it.
Yes. So for me, I just had that open. When you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, give them influence, and I can spend that hold to help them as if it were team in the pool.
Ooh. So I have influence over Atlas already.
So yeah, you can shift my labels if you would like.
Oh, okay.
And that means you push one label up, one label down. So like
okay.
Like danger could go down. Maximum is +3. Minimum is minus, or maximum lowest is -2.
I think that from the way that Atlas really commanded the situation right at the beginning of the fight, saying, "Listen, we don't want to do this," he stepped up and pushed the window. So I'm going to say that his superior would go up and his danger would go down, because I think he really commanded the situation and took charge without hesitation from the heart. And that's something Cody can respect. And my celebration is when you share a triumphant celebration with someone, ask them if they see you as the person wearing the mask or the person underneath. If the former, mark potential and clear condition. If the latter, take influence over them if you review yourself.
Yeah. And I think actually, yeah, in this case, it's probably the former more so at the minute. And I think Danny says, yeah, you were really you're really badass in there, arachnophobe. I've not seen you let loose like that before, and it was awesome to see you in action. I like I say, I I couldn't have done it. We couldn't have done this without you, without everyone else. So keep up the good work.
For sure, man. And he's gonna unstick from the wall where he just was, like put the spray paint can down, pick the beer bottle up, come over foot to chink, and chug. Good day. And the mural is more or less finished, so he's just gonna take a picture of it with a camera from the same bag, but from the outside pocket. Like, right, I have an art project to submit at some point or other, so this was going to contribute towards it.
Cool. And I think Danny is going to give him the awkward side hug, as they're both looking at the mural.
Yeah.
Fade to black. As is the final scene. I think we'll do end of session moves now. So yeah, we will. Yeah, it is. We have I think we'll just get the last 12 minutes of this for that. So we'll start in character keeper order this time. So Atlas, did you grow close to the team, away from the team, into your own image?
I definitely think closer to the team, and actually, I'm going to say mostly just because I've literally just done that influence thing with arachnophobe. I'm going to say actually kind of the moment that he had with sorry, I'm blanking on names again, with Fermata again, was actually kind of was significant as well, I think, because Fermata showed that she kind of had some respect for Danny, which I think he didn't expect. So yeah, I think I'll go that way. I can't remember if you do already have influence over me.
I think I do. Yes, because
yes, you do. So yeah,
because I'm your rival.
So yeah, you do get to shift my labels.
It's funny that Danny thinks that, because from Alice's point of view, that just means you're controllable because you listen to what she said. Yeah, I think I am going to. Yeah, because yeah. Remind me, what was the label shift you just went through? Because I don't want to.
I just went danger to superior.
Okay. I think I'm gonna boost your savior up, because this whole because I think it proved that saving these people or bringing them had some worth. Um, and not to keep putting your danger down. But this is less you smashing through people, which is kind of like what Fermata thought of you anyway. Kind of. So put your danger down.
Cool. Thank
Also,
you.
see Freak going down because he did to challenge the people who did this to him. But I mean, I love the idea of a non-dangerous bull. Yeah, so next we will go to Arachnophobe. The end of session moves is on the second page of the basic moves.
Ye-
You can grow close to the team, grow into your own image, or grow away from the team. Pick one.
Hmm. I'm a bit torn at the first and second one. He really did put himself out there to help another one of his own, and everyone banded together and got through it pretty well. Um, but at the same time, as going off of from what Danny said to him, he let loose and really got into the thick of things. So he's quite proud of that image, and he's impressed like people they were fighting and so on and so forth. So I think I think he would grow into your own image of yourself, and yes, I will lower my danger to 2, and then bump up my superior.
I guess
Did that work?
it
Does that?
works. Yeah. Fermata, how do you feel?
Yeah, I think it's kind of grow closer to the team, mainly because they didn't prove me wrong when I said I trusted them to to do the work. In fact, they overperformed um, compared to her. Um, so I think she's learning that she can trust them, especially Thunderchild, who kind of like in her mind was kind of like, oh, this is just Jacob in a robot body, and was proven that no, this is Jacob in a robot body. It's not a bad thing though. It's nice that despite everything, he's still Jacob. Um, with free Wi-Fi. Um, um, so yeah, I think I'll definitely give influence to him, which I think he already does because
I've
everyone
already
has
got
to.
influence. So I'd like to thank Famata for her relationship I advised by putting her um, mundane up and her freak down.
Okay. Wait, nope. It's a -1. Yeah, I gotta wonder where she found that advice. Someone else must have told her that. I doubt she had much experience dating. No, no. Clearly, she found that from someone else.
I had to read a Teen Vogue magazine once at a stakeout. It happened to help. And, so
Ooh.
yeah, Thunder.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
Sorry, no. You mentioned like no. I know the exact moment then where she found that advice. Then I figured it out. Um, yeah, it is from a Teen Vogue, and it is from a stakeout. Uh, I think it is exactly that.
Yeah, Thunderchild. How do you feel?
Yo, everything came up Thunderchild on that one out, and then I got a date with a hot chick. So I think I grew into my own image of myself.
With all those one-liners, I would be disappointed if you had not.
And look, I'm gonna because Ogre Hag, she seemed to dig me for being me. I'm going to put my superior back to minus one of my mundane back down because she digged the robot. So I think at the moment Jacob's feeling pretty good about himself.
Thank you very much, and thanks to all who have watched. We're going to stop the live stream and do stars and wishes and debrief. Goodbye, all.